Welcome to SLE Equipment here in Nashville, Tennessee. Today we're doing the instructional video for this 8.5 by 16 concession trailer with 7-foot porch. It does have the flip ups. We'll show those here shortly. As you can tell, this trailer is orange with silver trim. Let's get into it here. First up, we're going to talk about the power supply. So, power supply. Please, before hooking up to your power supply, make sure your power source is turned off, whether that be generator or shore power. Please just double check, make sure that's off. It says a 240 volt hookup, so it can be a dangerous amount of electricity if not handled properly. So we just want to make sure we're safe there and handling this properly and not injuring ourselves unnecessarily there. So once you've ensured your power source is off, come here, connect your cord to the trailer. It is a twist lock, so you're going to give it a twist to the right and then tighten up that collar there. Get that good and snug, that way the cord stays plugged in as it should. Alright, then take the other end. It is the typical 1450R receptacle. Plug that into your power source, whether that be shore power like we're running off today or a generator. Once you have completed both of those steps, you know it's plugged in properly. Then go ahead and turn your power supply on. Alright, so going around the trailer, kind of take a look down the side here. There at the back you can see the pop-up on the passenger side, and you can see through the back of the trailer there as that rear pop-up is opened as well. Here we have the 36 by 36 access door to the V-nose. Inside you can see that 30-gallon freshwater tank. Down here in the corner is the water pump. A couple of water valves, we'll go over that here in just a minute. In the corner back there, opposite side, is the water heater. That is a 6-gallon water heater. Here you have the electric panel. This black box here is or gray box, sorry, is the inverter. And that inverter charges the 12-volt battery when the trailer is hooked to power. So you can see that green line on my hand there. That tells you that the inverter is charging the battery. And then here we have the fuse box for the 12-volt system. So nice feature on this, it has a light down beside each of these fuses there. If one of those fuses is blown, that light will light up and show you that which fuse is blown there. Alright, next we're going to go over here to these water lines. So you can see this back water line here, that's the main water line from the tank. You can see this valve is in line. That means the valve is open. Alright, these two are not in line, they are closed. So this line here runs through the floor and out to the bottom. That's your main drain for the water tank here. So if you need to drain the system for winterization or whatever other reason, that's where you're going to do that at. And then this one here, this is your winterization line. Simply connect your air hose here, open your valve, blow the water out of the lines there. Alright, you will get the winterization video in a separate video walking you through that process completely. And then right here, this is the crank jack for the crank for the stabilizer jacks, which are on the four corners of the trailer. So right down here, that's the first stabilizer jack. Please keep in mind the stabilizer jacks are just that, they are for stabilizing the unit. Please do not try to use these to jack the unit up for leveling purposes. You could damage the jack, most likely will damage the jack, could potentially damage the frame. So stabilizing only. All right, that is a 3/4, takes a 3/4 socket there, which is on that speed crank. So there you go. All right, here we have the water access panel door. Simply turn the key. This cover here, that goes to the freshwater tank. So you insert your hose here, fill the tank. When done, pull the hose out, replace your cover. All right, or cap. This here is the pressurized system. So you would hook a normal garden hose style hookup here, Hook your line up here. It does have a screen filter on there. If you're using the pressurized system, that bypasses the freshwater tank, so you would not be using the tank at that point. You're just supplying water directly to the water heater and water pump, and then from there out to the faucets. All right, and this key will be inside the trailer, hanging around the faucet inside. Next up, we have the waste tank drain. So typical garden hose connection here, 3-inch hose here, and if you want to buy a 3-inch hose, you can get that at any RV supply store. Simply take off whichever cap you're going to be using there, hook your hose up, grab this handle here, pull it out to the left, opening that valve. That'll drain the contents of the waste tank, and then once that is complete, simply push that handle back in, close that valve off, replace your cap. You are good to go there. All right, coming on around, we have the two 3,500 pound axles, black steel wheels. One thing to note here on these wheels, this little rubber cap here does come off. In behind that is a grease fitting. Once every 10,000 miles or 1 year, whichever comes first, you'll need to go to each wheel, remove that cap, take a grease gun, connect to the grease fitting, grease those bearings up good. That way it helps keep the axles and bearings in proper working order, thus extending the life of your wheels and trailer with minimal cost. All right, right behind the wheels we have another stabilizer jack right there. All right, up here, here's one of the flip ups on the driver's side on this 7-foot porch here. This is a very nice trailer. This thing is laid out well. You see the rear flip up here with the walls, half walls there, all the way around. License plate down here in the back. This does have the roller wheels to help keep the unit from bottoming out and damaging the rear of the unit. We'll come on around to the passenger side here. Take a look down this side. Again, the flip ups on all three sides there. Entry door here to the porch. Stabilizer jack underneath that door there, and then 3,500 pound axles on this side, or as seen from this side with the steel wheels. Again, grease fittings on both wheels, so you have 4 of those you'll need to grease up. And then here we have the 4-foot concession window, LED concession lights on each side, and then the 6-foot flip up counter. So this counter, pretty easy operation here. If you're going to lower it, come here, push that one in, kind of gently rest your arm or hand, don't raise up, push the other in, lower the counter down. Pretty simple operation there. All right, now with this window, it does have vertical sliding windows with a screen. So the screen is in the center here. There we go, get to the handle. It makes this much easier. There you can see the screen in place. All right, there is a pane of glass on the outside here, and then another on the inside of that screen. So you can have one window up, one down, and then the screen's there. You can leave both windows up and have just the screen down. Dealer's choice on all this, however you want to work that. Those options are available. Shut the window there. Pretty simple. Nice and smooth as it shuts. All right, back around to the front side here on the passenger side at the V-nose. We have the 100-pound propane tank inside the propane cage. So that's going to be the next thing we're going to talk about here is the gas system. So step one to lighting to the gas system, make sure that concession window is open. All right, then we're going to come around inside the trailer. Once you've opened that concession window, next thing you're going to do is come here. You have a light switch here on the wall that turns on your exhaust hood. There you can see the hood. That LED light on the hood comes on and off with the hood. So hood's on, lights on, hood's off, lights off, right? So that's step two. Just make sure that hood is turned on. Then we're going to come to our appliances, and we're going to make sure that all of our knobs are in the off position. Now on this fryer, it has a manual pilot, so you'll need to make sure that that's in the off position. Right now it is in the on position. All right, and that's indicated by this little dot right there. That'll tell you whether you're in the off, on, or pilot position. It is on. I do have it lit already, but we'll go over that here in just a few minutes. And then you're simply just going to come here, check the rest of your knobs, make sure they're in the off position. Now at that point, we're ready to exit the trailer. Come back outside. And turn the gas on. So the gas on these trailers, this is the most dangerous aspect of the trailer, right? So one thing we want to make sure of is that we are operating this step by step, taking every precaution we can to make sure this system is functioning properly, okay? There's a few checks here. Once you come to the tank here and you turn the gas on at the tank, you're going to do that by turning this knob. You're going to open that all the way up, okay? As far as that goes, right? Once you've done that, then you're going to come over here, and I'm going to turn that back off because that is an empty tank right now. So once you've done that, you're going to come back over here, and you're going to come to your regulator here. You can see this says vent right here. So you're going to kind of listen here, make sure you don't hear any gas hissing or smell an abnormal amount of propane right here. If you do, indicator that your regulator potentially has gone bad. So you're going to want to get that checked out by your local gas company. All right, everything checks out there. Step two is turn this handle. So if this handle is turned, again, in line, that means the valve is open. If it's turned here, sitting in this direction, that means the valve is closed. Right, so you're going to turn that on. Once you open that valve up, you're going to listen here because you're going to hear the initial whoosh of gas go through there. That's normal, that should happen. Beyond that though, you should not hear gas continuously running through this line. If you do, that means you have something open somewhere and gas is free flowing through that line. Now, there could be a few different things to cause that. It could be that your pilot lights are open too far and allowing too much gas flow through there. Could be that your knobs are turned on, you bumped one or whatever as you were checking your knobs. Or it could mean that you have a damage somewhere in your line, okay? So if you hear that continuous flow of gas, shut that back off. Check your knobs. Look at your pilot, make sure your pilot lights aren't set too far open. That's hard to do unless the pilot lights are lit. They're set pretty well right now, so probably not going to be that as long as you don't adjust them from there. But make sure your knobs are turned off. If everything is off, come back out, turn that valve, open that valve back up, and if you hear that continuous flow of gas again, shut it back off. Contact your local gas company, have them come out and check the unit. There's potential that you have a leak somewhere and you need to get that fixed. All right, so now that the boring stuff is done, turn your valve all the way on, check here, turn this all the way on, listen here, everything checks out, you're good to go, you're ready to go inside the unit, fire up the gas. All right, so let's do that. I say it's the boring stuff, but it's the important stuff. Very important that we're safe with this system. We don't want to have any accidents with gas. Would not be good. All right, so first up, we have this 24-inch Royal griddle. It is sitting on a 24 by 30 equipment stand. Stainless steel stand with galvanized undershelf there. So this Royal griddle has free-flowing pilot lights. So that means gas is automatically, once the gas is turned on, gas is flowing through those pilot lines, okay? So, to light that, we're simply going to take our barbecue stick lighter and get down here, reach underneath here, see this gas line right there? You're just going to follow that back to that pilot. You can see it's already on. Stick your barbecue stick lighter up there. Like that. Flame just underneath the bottom of it there, the gas will pick up the flame and it'll light. So you can see the flame on there. Then there's a second one over here. Same thing. Alright. Now that those are lit, then you're going to come over here to your Royal fryer. This is the one that's going to take a minute, and it does require 2 hands to do this. So I'm going to turn this back to pilot. You should be able to see that little red dot right there. You want the L on the word pilot lined up with that dot. You're going to push that button in and hold it. First time lighting, or if the gas has been drained from the system completely, it's going to probably take a minute or two to prime that line, get gas flowing in there properly, okay? Once you've done that, take your barbecue stick lighter, come up here, boom, light that. You see the pilot burning. Continue to hold this button in while you light that and after you light the pilot light. You're going to hold that. I usually count to about 15 Mississippi. After it's lit, that gives it time to get burning good. There's a thermocoupler on the back side of that pilot that it's also, that flame is hitting. So once that thermocoupler heats up, the pilot light will remain lit. Like I said, I usually count to 15 Mississippi, and then at that point, slowly release off this button until you completely let go of it, and then check, make sure the pilot stayed lit. Then you're going to turn this around to the on position. Okay, once you've got it in the on position, now you're ready to cook. So we're going to turn on this. I'm going to demonstrate that it works. See those nice flames? Turn it back off here. Same thing here. I did not demonstrate this, but I will now. So we'll come here, turn it on. There you can see that burning. Come over here to this one. Alright, there you see that one burning. Alright, everything works as it should here. Let's go on around the rest of the trailer now. So, exhaust hood. Talked about the light. There are 2 grease cups in behind here. One grease cup mounts here on those 2 knobs right there. The other grease cup mounts right here on those 2. Grease filters. So daily with the grease cups, you'll need to monitor those throughout the day. Make sure they don't overflow. Sorry, Siri had something to say on the subject. But daily monitor those grease cups throughout the day. Make sure they don't overflow. You probably need to clean those daily. Soap and warm water will do the trick there. And then these grease filters here, once a week at minimum, you'll need to pull those out and it's simply lift up, tilt toward you, drop down, they come out, reverse going in. So have it kind of tilted out a little bit, slot it up in, and then tilt it forward, drop it down into the slot to put it back in. But minimum once a week you'll need to pull those grease filters out and wash those with soap and warm water, just to prevent too much buildup of grease and prevent a fire inside the hood there. Okay, would not be good. So with that, you can see the two fire suppression lines, one for the griddle, one for the fryer, coming on around. Up here on the wall, on the shelf in the corner, is the fire suppression tank that holds the suppressant itself. And then down here we have the control head. If you were to need to manually discharge this system, do that much like a fire extinguisher. Grab the pin, pull firmly, breaking this seal, and then flip the handle up to the left there, exit the trailer. You're not going to want to stay in here if that system discharges. So here is the tag showing where the system was installed. It's new, installed in the month of August 2024. The company that installed it. You probably will need to have this system inspected before operating the trailer by the local codes or fire marshal's office. Have them sign off on it as well. All right. Next up, down below here, we have the 28-inch Arctic Air Sandwich Pro. Show you that this refrigerator is working here. Nice, cool 33 degrees. Open the door here. Again, brand new system, but there is the 8 containers inside of it. Cutting board on the front and top. Moving on around, we have the 3-bay sink and wash station next to that. Right here, ABC fire extinguisher, Class K fire extinguisher. The Class K fire extinguisher is required in all 50 states and inside any commercial kitchen. So we do provide those as part of the fire suppression package. And then over here we have the 18 by 48 stainless steel work table below the concession window. Galvanized undershelf there. And then these are the baskets for the fryers. I like to pull those out and see they have plastic on it. Even though the fryer only has the pilot light running, it still gets rather warm. So I don't want to leave those in there while I'm doing these videos. Alright, next up we're going to talk about this here. So this is our carbon monoxide and explosive gas alarm. This comes with every trailer that has a gas package on it. This back here removes. Just slot that down. A little more difficult with one hand, but you slot that down, pull that off. In behind there, the battery goes on this side here, and that battery is right there along with the owner's manual. I don't put those in because if I do, that battery will be dead by the time the owner takes possession. So there is a cord on this side wrapped up in the back here. You can remove this plug and mount this unit on the wall. Mounting kit currently on this side right here. But you can mount this on the wall separate. So you can have it sitting up here, cord running down with the plug going into the receptacle. Or, well, that's good. So there's that plug or cord to the plug. And you just pull these little tabs over to pull that plug out. And that little mounting kit's down in there. That's where the battery goes. This thing is not cooperating with one hand today. Or you can just plug it in. You hear the beep? So this thing in a moment will show 0 on there. Just shows that it's not detecting any carbon monoxide. If it is detecting any levels, it will give you a number there. It's also going to, in a moment, flash to LB. That means low battery. It's because the battery's not in it. So if there's the 0 there, where 0 gas detected. If it does flash an error code up here, you can find those error codes listed in the manual there. LB is the typical one I see because I don't put batteries in. Alright, we see that working. I'm going to pull that out, otherwise it will beep incessantly. We know that plug works. Let's go on around over here and check this one. 2 lights on, plug works. Sorry for the shoddy camera work there. 2 lights on. We know this one works, but I'm going to show it anyway. 2 lights on. Alright. Coming on around. Here we have the Cook Right warming cabinet. Glass front door. Show you inside there. And we'll come down here and turn this on just to show you it's working. Alright. Alright. Demonstrate the water here. So, normally at this point in the video I would show you a temperature gauge reading the temperature of the water. My battery is dead, so I do not have that to show you. However, hot water. See it working, cold water side. Come over here to this faucet. That is good and hot. It is set on max. It's very hot actually. I don't know if you can see the steam on the video horizon, but I mean I can cut lines in it here. Steam that up already. And it's about 90 degrees outside, so for it to create that kind of steam that quick, it's very hot water. Alright. In the V-nose here, you do have this little shelf here, and then there's an upper shelf for storage. Both there. Stainless steel cabinets down below the water line or sinks there. And these simply just give access into the V-nose. You can see the plumbing there. Over here, hot water heater or water heater. You can see right now I have it set to max. That light is on. It's heating up more water again. You see the lines there. And then this little switch here, this is your water pump switch. So right now it's on. It is intermittent, so it's going to turn on with whenever you turn the valves on or turn the faucets on. And then you'll hear it shut off. But you will need that on anytime you're operating the water faucets there. Alright. Rubber coating flooring throughout the unit. Drain in the center of the floor here. LED lights here in the center of the unit. And then air conditioner, heat and air conditioner. So the settings on this are off, high cool, low cool, high fan, low fan, high heat, low heat. And that is done using that front knob. The back knob is your temperature setting. Cold, hot, somewhere in between. And then this switch here, that's, you see one on both ends. That switch just allows you to close off one end there. So if you flip that switch out, then it's going to close off that end. If it's in, then that end is open. Same thing on that end, just allows you to close off one end. Air filters, here. That is the inside of this unit. Let's go back out here to the porch real quick, take a look out here. So on this porch, here on the back wall, First up, you see the flip-up counter. They work exactly the same. Flip those down to lower that down. And then we have a few plugs out here, so we're going to go ahead and check these. 2 lights. Flip-up counter running the full length of the passenger or driver side wall there. Electrical outlet here. And on the porch, these are all GFI outlets here, so reset that one. 2 lights, we're good there. Coming on around. That might be a little more difficult to see, but 2 lights on. Forgot to mention, 36-inch door, 78 inches tall here. And this is all finished out with aluminum mill out here on the porch. There. Two lights. Again, can be a little more difficult to see out here with the daylight. And then on the driver's side, flip up counter here as well, and then the doorway opening. Rubber coin flooring out here, drain in the center. Up on the roof, aluminum mill, LED light there, LED light here, and then on each one of these flip ups, LED light, LED light, and LED light there on that one as well. All right, so let's talk about shutdown procedures now. So the first thing we're going to do to shut down is turn off this gas. We're going to do that simply by coming here, making sure our knob is in the off position, and then we're going to come down here to our pilot light, and we're going to turn this off. So that's pilot, push in, turn again, and now it is in the off position. Alright, and you can verify that with this one because this is a manual pilot light, so you can see that flame is gone. So that pilot light is now shut off. On the griddle here, again, these are free-flowing pilots, so they're going to continue to burn as long as the gas is turned on to the trailer. So we're simply just going to come here, make sure that our knobs are in the off position. You can see off there. On would be over here. That's on. That's off. So we're just going to make sure that those are in the off position. At that point, we're going to exit the unit again. Come back out front here. And we are ready to turn the gas on. Or off, I'm sorry. Turn our gas off. So we're going to do this. Simply turn the valve. That valve is now in the off position. That gas is no longer flowing. Then we're going to come to our tank here for our purposes. We're running off of our tank here, so we're going to turn this one off. Real quick note, forgot to mention this earlier. So the tank that comes on the unit does come empty. You'll need to have that filled by a licensed gas provider. Say licensed because there are people out there that will fill these, but they're not licensed, maybe aren't as familiar with the equipment. If they were to fill this improperly, they could damage potentially either the valve or your regulator. So 100-pound propane tank holds about 23 gallons of propane approximately. So just make sure that you have somebody that knows what they're doing, is licensed and certified to fill these things, to fill it. All right, once we've turned off our knobs, turned off the gas to the front of the unit, come back in, come to the griddle here, and simply just look up underneath there. You can see that pilot light is out, that pilot light is out. We no longer have gas flowing into the unit. So now at this point, we can come to our switch here and turn off our exhaust hood. All right, simple as that. One thing I do want to mention too is part of the shutdown. Once you're done at the end of the day, you've done all your cleanup and everything, you're ready to go. I recommend to everybody that they go into the Vinos, unplug the water heater, simply because getting in the habit of doing that will help your water heater work properly longer. So before turning on the water heater or plugging in that water heater, first thing you want to do is make sure that you have that good steady flow of water. Okay? If this thing is spitting and sputtering water,
okay, is there something I can help you with?
Turn on both valves or both knobs there. You get that good steady flow of water. At that point now, that tells you that the water heater is full, and now you can, and you want to do that on both the sink here and the hand wash station there. But that tells you that the water heater is filled, so now it's safe to plug in the water heater and not risk burning up that heating element. If you leave it plugged in, you hook up the power, and then you come in here and the water had been drained for whatever reason, you turn the water on and it's spitting and sputtering, that water heater's not full, and you run the risk of burning up that heating element inside the water heater, and then you're going to incur extra costs that could be avoided. Just a little tip that I like to give. So over here on the wall or on the door, you will see this sticker here. So has some general safety guidelines and procedures, general safety and maintenance. Talks about cleaning the tanks. Don't run the exhaust hood without filters in place. Just kind of goes through just some general maintenance and safety tips there. Startup procedures, shutdown procedures. That's mostly going to be the things we've talked about in this video. And then before transit. So before transit, you'll make sure you check the lug nuts on each of your wheels. Check the tire pressure on all your tires. Make sure that all your blinkers, brake lights, running lights, everything is functioning properly. Make sure that all of your water hose or waste drain hoses, anything like that, is disconnected, stowed away, caps are back in place, valves are closed, that kind of stuff. Flip ups are shut down, concession windows down, all that sort of stuff before you transport the unit. Okay, so there you have it. That is the instructional video for this trailer. Really like the layout and design on this trailer. For its size, easily a couple of people could get in here and work and not be running over top of each other all day long. So laid out very well. This is a very nice trailer. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you for doing business with SLE. Have a great day.